Hey everybody, this is Praxis. In a recent interview that I did with Canadian Prepper, we talked a lot about things that we do here on our homestead, but we didn't talk about everything. In fact, there are three things that I think are probably the most important things that you're going to want to check out if you're new to this channel. If you want to know what they are, stick around.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now waiting, better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything.
Hey everybody, this is Praxis. In this video, I wanted to welcome all the new people who have become subscribers to this channel since I did a recent collaboration with Canadian Prepper. I've hosted this channel for many years, and what I wanted to address in this video is there any stuff that I've done over those past couple of years that you might have an interest in seeing, stuff that you might have missed? Well, I think there were three things I wanted to bring to your attention that are probably the most popular, most interesting things that I'm the most proud of that I've created here on my channel. The first thing you might be interested in, especially if you like science fiction, is a series that I created called Praxis Prepper Alien Invasion. It's a series that's about prepping and preparedness. It's about how to sanitize water, how to start a fire, pack a bug-out bag, all the basics of prepping and preparedness, but it's packaged inside an adventure story that is set with a mock alien invasion. Aliens are invading Earth, and there's a prepper, and they have to sink or swim based on their preps. A lot of people found that really engaging because it set it to a storyline. They thought it made it really accessible and fun to watch. So if you haven't seen that, here is a link to it. There were a lot of other preppers from other YouTube channels that were on there. Canadian Prepper participated in that. Prepper Princess was there. Ethical Preparedness, Survival Living was involved in that. Prepper Potpourri. There were just so many different prepping and preparedness channels that were excited to jump in and participate in that. And I was really fortunate to have all of them, and I think we all collectively together created something that was really compelling to a lot of people. So if you haven't seen that, here's a link to it down in the description below. There's links to the first and second season. I've done 2 seasons of that. We're going to have a third and final season coming up pretty soon. So if you're interested in science fiction and prepping, I think that would definitely be one for you. The second thing that I think is important to check out here on my channel is something that I guess I don't really see a lot of on other prepping and preparedness channels, and that's kind of a bit of lighthearted comedy. It's always been just part of my personality that I kind of like to joke about things. Just because a situation is dire doesn't mean, you can't still enjoy your life and you can't be lighthearted about things to some degree. There's that kind of gallows humor, and I like to have a lot of humor on my channel. So oftentimes what I'll do at the beginning of a video is I'll have kind of like a little comedy skit that kind of is sort of about the topic or about the theme that video is on. Hey YouTube, this is Praxis Prepper. Imagine with me for a moment, total collapse, total Teotihuacan, total Teotihuacan, the end of the world as we know it. You're walking across a post-apocalyptic landscape, scrounging for everything that you need for your daily life. You see a building, the first building that you've seen in months. You go inside for shelter, for comfort, for safety. There's one room inside the building, has scientific markings on it. There's electricity running into the room. There's still some lights on inside. You go in there, bright flashing lights, electricity. That was a time machine. You just walked into a time machine, and now you're 100,000 years into the future. What are you going to do now? Now it's even more total Teotihuacan. More total Teotihuacan. It's a post-apocalyptic landscape. There's nothing anymore. These peaches you see behind me, they're gone. Extinct. You do find one can, a can of delicious food. You open it up with your can opener that you happen to have in your pocket when you walked into the time machine. You open it up. It's a delicious soup-like material. But you don't have a spoon. There's no spoons. Spoons are gone. Are you going to suffer the indignity of trying to drink it out of the can? No. You need a spoon, but you don't have one. Are you going to starve to death? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, asshole? And I like kind of collecting a lot of those and putting them in a playlist. And I do have a playlist of some of my favorite comedy openings for some of the videos that I've had here on my channel. So again, in my playlist section, I'll put it down in the description below, a link to that playlist. You can check out some of my favorite comedy openings. In fact, most recently I did an entire full tour of this house, and I had kind of an opening. I wouldn't necessarily call it a comedy opening, but I thought it was kind of a cool opening where I did sort of a spoof of the director Wes Anderson. He's the guy that did like Life Aquatic and Rushmore and Recently he's got like Asteroid City is his new film coming out. He's got a really distinctive look to a lot of the stuff that he does, and I've always kind of wanted to emulate that, and I had a chance to do that for the opening of the tour of this place. And the third thing you might be interested in checking out on my channel, especially if you're a real hardcore prepper and you'd like to maybe move out to the country someday, is that I created an entire series about building my homestead from the very beginning up until 10 seconds ago, pretty much. I start the video series out in the middle of the woods. It's just a wooded area. It's not cleared or anything like that. And I have a video episode essentially every day of the process of putting the house together. The reason that I did it that way wasn't to entertain you guys. There are entertaining elements of the series, but it wasn't made as an entertainment piece like the way the alien invasion thing was. It was created as a window into a possible future that you might have interest in yourself. If you would like to move out into the country, and in my opinion, if you're thinking about like real hardcore kinds of SHTF events, moving out into the country is really the only game in town that there really is. If you have that as a plan, this series will give you a window into what it would be like to build a place for yourself. It is not out of anyone's reach. Anyone could do this. It depends on the level that you are going to execute it at, depends on your level of resources that you have, but something is achievable by anyone. And if you watch the series, you're going to see everything from like how to interact with building inspectors, how to get materials into site, how to interact with contractors, some of the problems that you're going to encounter. So if you go down that road, you're not going to think that you're the first person that had all these ridiculous problems. You'll understand that they're par for the course. And when you can anticipate that a problem is going to be there, it makes it a lot easier to deal with, I think, at least psychologically. I mean, that's why a lot of us are into prepping and preparedness, is because just having a sense that the problems could be out there makes it so that when you get to those problems, you're not getting knocked down on your ass just being shocked by the fact that the problem's there to begin with. So if you watch that series, you'll get a sense of what might be in your future if you're gonna possibly head down that road. But beyond that, I just wanted to welcome everyone to this channel. I love having new people, new perspectives. One of the things I like to do here on this channel is really foster that discussion, that dialogue between people with different perspectives on things, whether it's different perspectives on how to be the best prepper that you can be, or things like Second Amendment rights and whether people have the the rights to bear arms and what are the upsides and downsides of that. I'm definitely a pro Second Amendment kind of person. I like the idea that an individual can protect themselves. I think that's an important right for us to have. But one thing that I think you'll see oftentimes in a lot of discussions about this is that people tend to get polarized. There's people that think that they're anti-gun, and there's people that think that they're pro-gun. But you take both people on both ends of those extremes, and both of them agree about most things. Like, people who are anti-gun don't like the idea that kids get killed in school shootings. And people that are pro-Second Amendment also don't like that idea. In fact, one of the reasons that a lot of people that are pro-Second Amendment want to retain their ability to defend themselves is because they want to try to prevent gun violence happening to themselves and their families. So I think that a lot of times people have a lot more in common than they think that they have, especially when the media out there is always trying to divide us and tell us that we're so different from each other because it pumps up their rating. So that's what we try to do here on this channel, is get away from that idea of rating pumping up. That's one of the reasons I think my channel is probably not all that popular and exciting to people, is because instead of trying to divide people and get people angry, I like to try to bring people together and get people talking with each other. So if you're going to enter into any of the conversations in the discussion area, the comments down below, always remember that the other people that are in that discussion, they may not have the same experiences as you, they may not have the same opinions as you, but at the end of the day, we all share a lot of the same values. We all want to live in a healthy, clean, safe world for ourselves, and insofar as maybe that's not always possible, we have different solutions on how to try to make that better, but we all have those same kind of values. We all want to live a healthy, safe life and to pass that on to our kids. Thanks for watching, and welcome to the channel. Hey YouTube preppers, one of my favorite projects that I did for here on my channel was my Alien Invasion series. If you're interested in UFOs, if you love science fiction, and especially if you love prepping, this one I think is for you.